Hello, hello. What is going on? Peter Moriarty here. Great to have you here with me. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you say hello. I am covering the news. We haven't done this for a couple of months, but get excited. Lots of updates to cover. If you are fresh around here on the channel, every couple of months, I cover what is new in Google Workspace, take you through all of the latest from Google. They've actually got a blog where they post all of the updates here, but there are a lot of updates. And it takes a while to get through them. So what I do is I curate all the best ones that I think are useful for small business owners or IT managers managing Google Workspace. And I'll let you know what I think about them. Pretty simple, pretty cool. But let me know if you're on the live, say hi. I'm in a brand new studio here, which I'm very excited about. But if there's issues going on with audio, if there's issues going on with video, just post it up in the chat and let me know. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. So we're going back all the way to some of these landed in October. Some of these are a bit out of date in order of dates, but that's all right. Some of these back to October, but we've got some real good ones here. So this is an update. HIPAA compatibility or HIPAA compliance has now been added to Gemini, which is pretty cool. And so if you've got like quality or data privacy certifications, or you need to be HIPAA compliant, like if you're working in healthcare, covering like patient data or other sensitive private data, then you might be interested in this. It's now compatible with Gemini, which is pretty cool. Obviously, as long as you're using a Google Workspace account. So you've got to be using a business account for that. You wouldn't be using a Gmail account for any medical records for anyone. But yeah, you can see here that it goes pretty much to all of the different editions of Google Workspace, which is awesome, even on Business Starter, which is pretty good. I mean, Gemini is everywhere now, right? So that is a nice one that we've got there. Next up, Gems in Gemini. Now, this is a kind of interesting feature. Now, I don't know how much you're using Gemini, maybe using ChatGPT. Everyone's got Gemini now, so you may as well learn how to use Gemini. But gems are something that sits inside of Gemini, and gems are kind of like your little apps that run inside of Gemini and do specific things. They're not quite an agent. An agent is like an AI-based app that can run kind of semi-autonomously. But gems are, think of it like a trained version of Gemini that does a specific task. So you might want to train a gem to do something like just review content, or you might want to train a gem to just answer questions about SOPs inside your business. And so we've trained a gem to do that. We fed it lots of documents, and now it basically can regurgitate SOPs and answer questions for staff members that are doing onboarding. So I wanted to highlight that in the updates here. There's nothing all that exciting that's changing, but they have put some example gems in there. I wanted to highlight it to let you know if you haven't already tried it out, head along to Gemini and try out gems, and maybe let us know in the comments what you're using it for or what it might be useful for. Now you can request a signature in Now you can request a signature in Google Drive on PDF documents. And so in Google Drive, when you're working with your Google Docs, like the document format, you can request signatures in there, which is a pretty cool, reasonably new feature. Well, now Google's released yet another option, and that is that you can request a signature on PDFs, which is far more useful than doing it on a Google Doc. And so now you can basically open up a PDF. You can see this person's just opened it up in their Google Drive, and there's a button there to request an e-signature, which is pretty cool. Request an e-signature, and then you can obviously send it over to someone via email. They'll sign it, and then it'll come back. Now, I love this. It's a bit of a bummer for people like DocuSign and HelloSign, who are kind of getting taken out of the market here by Google. But this is really nice to have in here natively because it's one less app that you have to pay for. And subscription overwhelm is a real problem for businesses, right? We have $20 here, $10 there, that just adds up and up and up and up, particularly if we need to licenses for our team. And so this makes things a little bit easier. The other thing I like about using less apps is you don't have to worry about the onboarding for staff with yet another app, and you don't have to worry about data disappearing from your business in yet another app. I find that when my staff are signing up for apps themselves, bit by bit things to kind of start to get out of control. You've got one person using an app with their email address. You've got one shared email address that multiple staff are using. No one's really controlling it. If you're too small to have a dedicated IT manager, there's no one whose job it is to kind of like manage all of that. And if you're the business owner, you're way too busy to do that. So I like, googly things coming into the Google ecosystem, meaning that it's easier for everyone. Okay, cool. Next feature. Google is now allowing you to control who can respond to a Google form. Forever, you've been able to control who can edit the Google form and who can collaborate on it. That's just the basic Google Drive sharing settings, or if you put it in a shared folder or a shared drive, then anyone who can access that can also edit it. But now there's actually the option to control who is going to access to give responses. You can either have specific individual people, or you can even have groups added here as well. So imagine you're a large organization and you're looking to gather feedback from just one specific group of people. Well, you could add just that organizational group of people, and they are going to be the only ones who can respond to the form. So I like that. Maybe you're sending out the form to contractors and they've got, a whole bunch of random Gmail addresses. Well, you could put them into a contractors folder or a contractors group, and from there you can share that group to this form for respondents. So nice one, Google. I like that. Next up, Google have introduced huddles inside of Google Chat, and they are calling them an instant on audio first meeting, which sounds a lot like a phone call to me. But anyway, huddles are instant audio meetings, aka phone calls, right inside your Google Chat. Now, I like this because many, many moons ago, if you remember, Google had the ability to call each other using Google Hangouts. It was great. You could click a button and the other person's phone would actually ring. And then they rewrote Hangouts as Meet, and they rewrote what was Hangouts as Chat. And it took them 3 or 4 years to then migrate all of that over to what is currently Meet and currently Chat. And look, they did a great job. They rewrote it. It was crap before, and now it's excellent. But one of the missing features was audio calling, and it's been gone for years and years and years. And many people went, "Hey, Google, what have you done?" Like, they switched to Slack, or they, switched to WhatsApp or something else, which was a bit of a bummer. But now Google have brought this back, and Google now allowing us to, thank you, Google, make calls again, which you've been able to do for a while. The call button has been there, but now you can do a huddle, which I don't know exactly what is different between a huddle and a call, but anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about that one. It eliminates the need for lengthy discussions. Yeah, we get that. You can start a huddle or share a Meet link through a single entry point. Okay, does that just mean it's like it's a button? Is that what's easy about it? I don't know. Anyway, but the huddle button is there. If you didn't know it's already there, or if you're not using Google Chat currently, that's one nice little feature that has returned finally to Google. The Gemini mobile app now available for Workspace users. Now, this was released some time ago, but you may not know that it's there, which is why I wanted to include it in today's presentation. You can download an app for Gemini and actually sign into the app rather than using just the Google Search app or using Gemini on the web. It took a while for this to be actually activated for my account. I think because I have an Australian account, it runs slower getting new features, which is a real bummer. But anyway, it is what it is. But you now got a dedicated app. Now, for some time, I have been using GPT for pretty much everything because Gemini has stunk for most of last year, to be completely honest. But I've got to say, in the last month, I've switched to using Gemini for 95% of my queries, and I'm pretty damn impressed. I've given it a lot of crap over the last year because there are so many things it still gets wrong, and trying to insert a table into a spreadsheet today didn't even do that for me correctly. But for my general searches, where in the past I might Google something, and then I've moved to using LLMs or language model apps, which is the umbrella term for Gemini and GPT and Claude and everything else. Now it's running much better. So I like that I have an app here that I can go to. I've got multiple Google accounts. Sometimes I want to use my personal account. Sometimes I want to use my business account. I can flick between those two, which is nice and easy to do. You just click the picture in the top right-hand corner there of the face, and you switch to another account. So I like this. it's actually working now. Gemini is actually starting to get useful. And surprise, surprise, Google have decided to put the price up on Workspace and just give it to everyone, which is a good thing, apart from my margins as a reseller. But that's all we can do. Not much we can do about that. Okay, next up, you can find and navigate your Google Chat conversations by organizing them into custom sections. Now, this is cool, and I'm surprised I haven't yet seen it in my chat. This was released some time ago, and I can't say I've noticed it yet, but I'm going to go ahead into my chat and let's see if I can find how to organize things. And to be honest, I don't see it. To be honest, I don't see it here. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I can't see the option here. So I've got the new chat button. I've got direct messages and spaces. Can I create another space? No, it does not appear that I can create another space. So what gives, Google? What gives? I don't know where this button is. Move conversation. Okay, I'm seeing here it says move conversation. Maybe let's try that. Let's go back to our conversations here. Direct message. No, I don't have the option to move. Let's see if I can find my spaces. No, also can't move it. Okay, so does this have to be switched on in the admin panel maybe? Rapid release. Okay, expected completion by mid-February. All right, so that means it's not fully rolled out to everyone just yet. Okay, so false alarm. I'll let you know when I find that one in my chat. I'll give it a demo, and of course, I'll share it on the channel. Okay, next up, I think I missed one. Data classification labels in Gmail now available for all Android and iOS devices. Now, I think this one is actually pretty reasonably useful. We've actually jumped ahead to something that's just been released, literally just this moment. And this gives you the ability to stick a label on an email and have everyone see it. Now, this is more for labeling data. I don't know if this is going to be a workable or a useful shared label system like you have with third-party apps that let you use a label like a shared folder and have everyone see that shared label. We use HIPAA. We're a partner with HIPAA, and we recommend you check that out if you're interested in collaborating on an inbox. What this is for is more for data protection policy. And so if you're a larger organization and, for example, you have particular kind of documents that come through from certain customers or clients of yours, and you need to classify them in a certain way, someone can stick a label on, and you can have certain things happen in your data loss prevention rules and policies. So interesting there. You can see, this is an example of, the sensitivity of a document, which is being added here. I'm curious what you might use it for if you're an IT manager in a larger org and you're making use of these kind of things. Data classification, I'd love to know what you use it for. Most of our context here is small business land. I don't know if you'd bother, to be honest. Most people are just trying to get through the mountain of email that they have rather than having enough time to label everything. But hey, let us know. Let us know what you use it for. I'm curious. All right, here we go. So use Gemini in Google Docs to create unique images for your documents. Google have brought back image creation, which is great because they took it away after their, I think they had Black Hitler and all kinds of weird stuff happening in their image generator before. Bad PR for Google. Google always gets slapped with this. I don't know why. They seem to have, I think, such a high standard for themselves that they get dragged, whereas everyone else is kind of allowed to be more loose than Google. Remember when GPT was letting people create images of Trump pregnant and stuff like that? It was all kinds of weird. Anyway, but here we go. They've brought back pictures, which our CEO, Scott, will be very happy about because he doesn't like sourcing drawings on the internet. You can do it with a prompt and then drop it into your document. Also great for slide presentations, and obviously this works in slides as well. Very glad to see that back. Thank you, Google. Next up, reference Google Calendar using Gemini in the side panel of Gmail. Now, this is not super exciting, but I just wanted to kind of give you the heads up. If you're in Gmail or presumably other places, you can now schedule a calendar event just using Gemini. So you can say, hey, could you create, this example here, this recurring event, blah, 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 for my yoga class, and it's just going to go ahead and automatically do that. I love that because this is the kind of thing that I would usually think to go to like a personal assistant to do, and Gemini is just doing more and more and more and more of this. This is what Google Assistant should have been years and years ago. And remember, like 3-4 years ago, Google was saying, hey, upgrades are coming. We built this amazing model. We're going to make Assistant better. And then they just never did. And effectively, that took GPT coming out for Google to get their butt into gear and actually develop the product and release it. So we're getting the Assistant we should have had 5 years ago that Google kind of had in the background, but finally we're getting there, and it's coming out. So I'm really happy to see some of these little things just being integrated into all the Google apps because it makes things run a lot better. Okay, next up, Google Vids, now available for Google Workspace and Education, providing easy video creation. Now, this is a really interesting feature, and personally, I've not used it yet myself. I still don't know exactly what it's for or what you're meant to use it for, and I'd really love to know what you're using it for if you're using it right now. So, I mean, this is probably the first time I've opened it. Here we go. Go from vision to video effortlessly. All right. So it's obviously Gemini powered. So describe your video in a few sentences. Use @ to include files. Okay, let's see if I can dictate. Now here, just fire up my dictation software. Is it going to work? It doesn't seem to like my microphone. Okay. I'd like a video of a puppy giving a corporate training. I've no idea what this is going to do, but let's see what happens. And then we're going to edit the outline. Interesting. Introduction, puppy wisdom for the workplace. Oh, it's got a whole lesson plan. Damn, that's pretty wild. Okay, so I can adjust the video before it gets created. Ask questions, stay inquisitive. No, we don't want that. We want only compliance. No questions. All right, and then select a design. All right, let's go for bland corporate and sample design. Okay, great. Create the draft video. Well, this is exciting. Time for a little drink break. I'm assuming this is using a video generation engine in the background. And if you're just joining us, this is a Google Vid, which I thought might have been like vids.google.com maybe, but it's actually in docs.google.com/videos if you want to play alone. Here we go, the puppy's guide. Well, that doesn't look like a puppy. Where's my puppy? Okay, puppy's guide. Maybe that's just the documentation. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. So now I get it. So I've got to record the actual video. It's not generating video. I've got to record the video, but this has given me the framework, the slide presentation, and then I assume, oh, keep video. Find puppy in a meeting room. Oh, it's actually giving me sample. Oh, that might just be images, not video. Okay. Record video, keep, what does keep video mean? I don't think that's a video. I think that's just an image. Okay, let's try recording video. All right, let's access my camera. Bring the same enthusiasm to, oh, it's given me a script. My God, this is cool. All right, here we go. Bring the same enthusiasm to meetings. Your positive energy can turn even the most mundane discussions into lively and productive sessions. Into lively and productive. Okay, that's not great, but anyway. Okay, did the read along work for you? Yes, thank you, Google. All right. Hide script, turn off microphone. All right, insert. Ta-da! Animation. Oh, we can add animation. Look at that. Slide in. All right. Playback options. Bring the same enthusiasm to meetings. Cool. So I've added a video that I've just recorded into my vid, and then I assume if I go to the start, so play. So this looks like it's going to turn this whole thing. Hopefully you've got audio coming through. You should do. This is going to turn this whole thing. Ah! Oh my God, it's actually got puppies. It's actually got puppies. Amazing. Wow. Enthusiasm to meetings. Your positive energy can turn even the most mundane. It actually generated video. I'm impressed. And productive sessions. And then I've got myself on the side there. There we go. So that's Vids. That is a quick rundown of Vids. If you want to create a training, a course, something else live, that's a very interesting app. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use that for yet, but I would expect that my team could use that for like onboarding, training. That would be great for that. If you're in education, obviously, you know, it makes sense if you want to turn something into a lesson. If you're a coach or like an online content creator and you're selling information products, that looks like an easy way to like bang out your intellectual property into online online courses. So yeah, very cool. I'm pretty impressed with that. Pretty impressed. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to our next one, improving the cover image experience in Google Docs. You know, I saw this one and I actually thought it was pretty boring, but I wanted to highlight it and say that, you know, bit by bit, Google is slowly making Google Docs better. A lot of people like to crap on Google Docs, that it's not that good and it's not as good as Microsoft Word, and I need Word to do more advanced document processing. But you know what? They're slowly getting there. They're slowly getting there. They have, you know, you can do numbers now. You can do a table of contents now if you want. You can do, header and footers. And here you go. You can now make an image right along the header as a full cover image. What I do like about Google Docs and what it has got really good at in the last few years is like docs for the web. Microsoft is still very like print focused, whereas Google have created their new pageless format. And so it should be pretty obvious to find that. You hit File and then Page Setup, and you can switch to pageless. And that's what this document is here. There is no like print outline. It's more designed for the web, because these days, like, you know, you might just share a document with someone, or you might just turn it into a PDF if you needed to, I don't know, print and sign it or actually do something with it. But 9 times out of 10, many of the documents inside our company actually just stay as documents. They never end up as paper. So Google are trying to reimagine what a document actually is. And so these little, you know, updates that they add to Google Docs are certainly welcome. And I think it's got very good. I mean, I'd love to ask a little poll if you're watching this or if you're watching the replay. You know, let me know. Are you still using Microsoft document formats for anything? Some people still use PowerPoint or Keynote because they're just like stuck there, but Slides is awesome. You should definitely be using Slides. Yeah, let me know. Are you still using Word or Excel? I know plenty of people use Excel. If you've got 10,000 rows in a spreadsheet, yeah, sure. Google Sheets is not always going to handle that. Docs, I'd love to know. Docs and Word. Okay, next up, you can create polls directly in Google Chat. So you don't need to use some kind of weird third-party external app anymore. You can create a Google poll. I assume that just makes the experience better. I haven't tested this one out myself, but great to see Google doing that. Oh, it looks like you've got a button here to export to a sheet as well, which is very cool. So thank you, Google. That's a nice little add-on there. Very clever to add that into chat finally. Google Vault now supports the Gemini app, meaning that all of the private conversations you've been having with Gemini are now going to be reported to your IT admin. So be careful. Anything you put in Gemini can potentially be stored in Google Vault and could potentially be held against you. If you're the admin, you probably need to go and switch this on in Google Vault. So to access that, I think it used to be ediscovery.google.com, but I've got a feeling they changed it to vault.google.com. And if I go in here to my Google Vault, yeah, here we go. Here's where I set policies around retention for my company. So you probably want to do this just to double check. You do need to be on a premium plan for Workspace. So we are on the Business Plus plan or Business Advanced, whatever the top business plan is called. And that allows you to have access to Google Vault for everyone. Now, you can buy this one by one for your staff if you want to, but my recommendation is for everyone in the company. If you have any kind of sensitive information in your business, be it documents, be it emails, if you're at risk of being sued, which is kind of everyone, it's a good idea to consider upgrading to the higher plan on Google Workspace, the Plus plan, so you get access to Google Vault and you can roll it out for everyone in your company, because this saves you. If you've got a malicious employee and they delete something, if you've got a customer who says, hey, you lost that file and now I'm going to sue you, and it's because a staff member who was employed by you 6 months ago accidentally deleted it and it disappeared from their trash after 30 days, this can save your bacon. Now, it's not a backup. Vault is not a backup, but it can help you to retain data in your business and access it as well. I've got other videos covering, what an actual backup is and why you would use a different kind of backup than Google Vault. But Vault is very, very useful inside your business. So it doesn't appear that I have Gemini here yet for me. So it seems like Gemini has not yet appeared. I wonder if I can run. A search at least. I've got to create a matter. Let me create. Here we go. I'll go ahead and create a test matter. Choose a service. There we go. Okay, so I can choose Gemini if I want to search, and I'm very curious to search my own Gemini and see what it comes up with. I wonder if it brings up all the historical stuff or just stuff. Oh wow, look at that! Woo, amazing! Literally, the words that I put in and the responses that came back. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, there we go. All of your Gemini history and now belong to Google. So watch out for that. Great. Okay, cool. Nice little feature there. Thanks, Google, for that one. Great to have your new tool actually able to retain information rather than just disappearing. Okie dokie. NotebookLM and NotebookLM Plus are now available as core services inside of Workplace with enterprise-grade data protection. I love this, and I love Google finally moving faster with releasing products. This product was in beta for a while, but after they announced it to the world and let everyone start playing with it, very quickly they've made this a core service inside of Workspace, which, nice work. Big thumbs up, Google. Very, very happy about this. So if you don't know what NotebookLM is, it's a pretty groovy AI tool. Let me go ahead and open it up. NotebookLM.google.com. And the easiest way for me to describe what this is it's somewhere where you can dump a whole bunch of information and then ask the language model, ask AI about specifically that information. So if you've got like 10 documents or 10 YouTube videos and you want to like bring everything into one place and ask some questions, or maybe transform that information from 10 documents into one. So great if you've got to like prepare an annual report. If you maybe want to grab 10 YouTube videos from our channel and generate a summary or something like that. Really, really great for that. Now, my team have been using this for our content generation. We've got a whole bunch of videos on our channel about data protection, Australian privacy policy, but some of these are going back like 5-6 years old, right? And we wanted to do an up-to-date video for the channel on data privacy. And so what we did was we grabbed all of our videos on data privacy, we chucked them all into there, and then from here, you can, there's a couple of buttons you can click and just automatically get a summary, which is amazing. So if I click onto briefing document, it'll generate a briefing document here. Here's one I prepared earlier. So yeah, here you go. It's just got literally all that information transcribed, distilled. This would be a manual process with ChatGPT, cutting and pasting all that stuff. So I really like this tool. And then let's say you were using it for knowledge that you needed to retain, that you can make a study guide if you want, which is pretty cool. Where's the study guide? I'm not sure where the study. Okay, one of these is a study guide. It's hard to know which is which. They don't label them very well. Here we go, study guide. Okay, cool. So you've got test questions, glossary of key terms. This is just brilliant. And imagine if I had a staff member who just started with me and I wanted to bring them up to speed on this because they were delivering projects to customers of ours who are in allied health. Great, right? This just brings them up to speed on everything that's in Peter's brain, because most things in Peter's brain have been put out on YouTube at some point in time. So love that feature. But then you can do transformative work. You could say, make me a 90-second YouTube video with the best points, right? And this should, I don't know if it's actually going to create a video, this should give us a script. Here we go. 90-second YouTube video, hook, problem statement, main points, summary, call to action. Like, that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Now you notice here all these little numbers show up. That is references back to the actual data where it took that information from. So you know how using like GPT or other AI tools can sometimes just like make stuff up? Well, this is basically referencing where it got the information from. So, and then you can ask it more questions and blah, 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 and it works just like Gemini works, right? Now, that's not the most awesome feature in this. The one that got a lot of publicity, because it was very, very, very impressive, is you can generate an audio overview, which makes all of this information into a podcast with 2 virtual podcast guests talking about it and explaining it, which is, this is crazy. This is amazing. So I look, personally, I don't love audio that much. I prefer to read something quickly and kind of like glance over it. But for someone who prefers to learn by listening, which happens to be one of our team members who works on the content team, they said, I love this because I can just take a project, I can take content, I can take anything, turn it into an audio conversation, and then you can just basically listen to the content immediately. Now, while that's generating, I'm going to just double check here that my system audio is working. Hopefully it's yes, it is. Okay, it's plumbed in, because I want you to listen to just how good this is. It's really, really amazing. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to generate. Let's wait. We'll maybe go to another news item and then we'll come back and you can listen to the audio. But anyway, this is NotebookLM. It's fantastic, and I've been using this a little bit myself. Most of the content team have been using it, but this is how you take disparate information. It might be a mix of documents and videos, media, and you bring it all into one place. Oakley dokely. Let's okay. Let's do some more news and then we'll come back to that one. Okay. Next, create and customize the Chrome web store for your organization. Now, this one is not all that exciting. You can, if you define a web store just for apps for your team, if you're a large organization, okay, sure, this might be more interesting to you. You can brand it now. Great, whoop-de-doo. But the reason I wanted to mention this is, if you don't already know, you can choose apps or extensions for Chrome, the ones that sit up the top here, plugins, you might know them as. And if you want them to be available and installed on all of your staff computers, you can do that with a policy inside Google Workspace. So you do it in the admin panel, just search a channel for videos, or search for the word policy and you'll find it. And you can basically force install applications down to each person's machine. Now, they need to have a Chromebook or a Chromebox or a mobile device running Chrome, or they can use a Windows or a Mac machine and Google Chrome as their browser. And then it will allow you to automatically push that down as long as they're signed in with their business account. So they sign in with their business account, boom, they automatically get access to all of those policies. So very cool. Happens basically automatically when you push that down. This update itself isn't that interesting, but if you haven't already done it, maybe everyone in your team, you want to use I've got to be careful mentioning LastPass because people get triggered. A password manager. You might want everyone to use Loom. We love Loom. That's a great tool. Our team use that all the time. This one called Clipboard History. I can't click it because it'll show my clipboard. But Clipboard History keeps all of your, your last 50 or so clipboard, cut and paste. So, if you cut over something else, you can always go back to it, which is great. And we push down ad block to the team as well, just to make their browsing experience a little bit cleaner while they're trying to get their work done. All right, cool. That was a good update. Let's keep moving through our updates here. The big one. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but Google have rolled out Gemini to everyone. If you didn't already get the news, go ahead and check out on our channel. We got a video covering the news, covering what you need to know, covering what's changing. Yes, they have put the price up on everyone, which is a bit of a bummer. Where's my Gemini video? There we go. That's the one there. So go check out the channel for Gemini. They put the price up on everyone, which is a bummer. That's going to come into effect over February and March for everyone, depending on when your renewal is. Can't get out of it. Everyone's got Gemini now. If you want to switch it off, we have a guide on how to switch it off. Just check the channel for that. I think it was uploaded as a short, but it's inevitable. Everyone's got Gemini. Let me know what you think of that. Are you pissed off? Are you annoyed? I'm kind of okay with it because it was a small price increase, and now at least everyone's got Gemini. In the past, I didn't think it was really worthwhile paying the extra $20 a month per person. So I wasn't that keen on paying for Gemini for everyone in our company. Now I'm kind of glad that everyone's got access to it. I'm not glad about the price increase, but I'm kind of glad that everyone's got access to it. Okay. You can use Gemini to interact with PDFs in Google Drive now. This is a cool little feature. Gemini sits pretty much everywhere in Google Workspace now, but you can now interact and talk directly to a PDF as it's sitting there in your drive. This is one step easier than downloading the PDF, uploading it to Gemini, and asking questions. So I'm pretty happy with this. Little bits and pieces like this make Gemini really good. I've said in a number of videos that I never really thought Gemini had like one killer feature that would make it worth paying an extra $20 a month for over something like GPT, which had so many more features, the memory feature, all these other cool things that it did. But in the last month of using Gemini, pretty much exclusively, now it's up to speed with its brain for the most part. Still get some things wrong, but its brain is pretty much as smart as it should be. Does it do anything way, way, way better than GPT or Claude on an individual basis? I still can't say so. But the one thing that it does do is it talks to everything in Workspace, and it's hard to beat that. So if you want to ask it a question of like, what's in my Google Drive? If you want to ask it, to set up a calendar event for you next Wednesday, all of these things are really, 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 really useful. So it's getting better. It's getting better. Okay. Next up, translate messages from one language to another in Google Chat. I love this. Pretty straightforward. You've probably seen this on the web if you've already, Googled something in another language or been in a foreign country. In Chrome, you can automatically click one button and translate, which is great. This is now coming to Meet. I like this because if my team want to talk shit about me in Tagalog, I can switch and I can listen. Very cool. All right. So next, Gemini for Workspace usage reports now include per app interactions. This one I think is interesting because you're able to see how many of your team are actually making use of Gemini. And that's really useful for adoption. Obviously, you want to make sure that you and your business are actually using these tools. Otherwise, why pay for them? You're stuck paying for it, so you may as well use it. That's available in your Insights tab in your Google Workspace admin panel. And finally, there's a whole bunch of new templates that have been released for docs. They actually did a bunch of templates for slides as well. I don't know if you're the kind of person that uses them. I'm not. It reminds me of high school, like doing an assignment and trying to pick something that I think looked good. But hey, if you're interested, there's a whole bunch of new templates there. So go ahead and check that out if you want some help. It looks like you can even click a button right from when you create a new document there. If you saw that, it did flash up on the screen nice and quick. So that's it for the news. Let's finish up with our podcast for G Suite and Australian privacy compliance from NotebookLM. Let's see how this goes.
All right, let's kick things off today and dive deep into this whole world of Australian privacy principles and how it all works with G Suite, especially for businesses dealing with, sensitive information. And it looks like you've been doing your homework. You've sent us some YouTube videos from itGenius, right?
Just a
Those
reminder,
guys really
these
live
are
and breathe G Suite, so their
like
perspective should be super helpful for
audio
us.
Yeah, itGenius definitely seems to have a good
hosts,
grasp on the
and
practical
they have a
side
20-minute
of things,
conversation
which is what we really
about
need
your
to
content.
understand. How do these principles actually play out in the
Teaching
real
you your
world?
content.
Exactly.
And I've got to tell
so
you,
first things first,
it is
what
awesome.
are we even talking about when we say
absolutely awesome. There you go. You
Australian
can change
privacy
playback speed,
principles?
blah, 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 whatever. I assume you can
It's not as
export it.
simple
I think
as
there's a
just
download
keeping
button.
all
There
the
you go. You
data
can
in
download it.
Australia, is it?
I mean,
No, not at all. And actually,
if you're someone who didn't want to create a podcast, but you're a keen writer, you could just grab all of your, like LinkedIn posts or YouTube videos or whatever, chuck it in here and turn it into audio, download, and then upload it as a podcast. Like there's so much that you could do with this. I love it. Anyway, going to wrap it there. If you need help with your Google Workspace or you're interested in getting more out of the platform, I'd recommend you check out our health check. This is a brand new offer, and I'm going to have to try and find here we go, the page for it, because I don't even know what the URL is. If you're interested in getting more out of your Google Workspace, I highly recommend a health check with our team. It is currently free. They won't be free forever, I don't think. But go ahead and check this out. How am I going to paste it in here? Oh my God, I've got to go and find my YouTube and paste it in here for you guys. Maybe I can even do it in can I do it in the comment section? All right, let's see if this works. I don't know if it's going to work, but there we go. Okay, so it's gone there on the live chat. And we'll pin it to the comments on the video as well. But if you're interested in a health check of your Google Workspace account, go ahead and sign up. All you need to do is go to that URL, put in your details. If you're a business owner or you're an IT manager in a business, we will help review everything that's going on in your Google Workspace account. We're going to check security settings. We're going to check and make sure that your I don't know, your drive's not a mess. Your drive's probably a mess. I think that's pretty obvious. Anything that you want to check to make sure that this is running smoothly, or if you've got questions about your Workspace account, or if you just don't know what you don't know. Now, you're not going to get a hard sell from our team. If we think there's value that we can provide, of course, we're going to offer you to work with us. But this is a really great way of taking the first step with itGenius if you haven't already. So jump onto that link. It's not live on our website yet. You've got to go directly to this page. Put in your details on the thank you page. You can schedule a call with our team and do your health check for your Workspace account. Most business owners that come to us or subscribe to this channel say the same thing. I don't know what I don't know. I've had Google Workspace for 5 years or 10 years or whatever. Or I set it up myself or my web developer set it up, and I just don't know what I'm missing out on. And our team know what you're missing out on because we have thousands of customers that we help get more and more out of the platform every single day. So if you want more out of this amazing investment, amazing piece of technology, then go ahead, jump on our health check. It's free. There's only limited spots available. So go ahead and jump on. And if you enjoyed the news, leave me a comment down below, say thanks, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.